Welcome back. This is McCarroll Siding, my N-scale layout. My name's Dave. Today we are going to, I'm going to show you how I do rail crossings by using some putty and the road surface that I brought right up to the edge of the rails, and I'll show you how all that works. It's a pretty tight shot, so you can actually see what's going on, but it does give you a sense of what I do. So this is how I do the railway crossings, and it's not difficult to do. Just holy mackerel! All right, I need to put your pliers. Might as well keep them up here with me, just in case. All right, so I'm going to use the same putty that I used on the highway itself. So I'm just going to take some putty, put it on here, and then close this up right away because I don't want it to dry out while I'm working with it. So, like I say, this is not difficult. I'm going to take some putty, and what I've done here is I have put some Tamiya tape, modeling tape, on the track to protect it. And then I'll come back with some sandpaper, and we will clean this up. I don't want to use the power sander for fear of damaging the track. Now, putting down the putty, or the tape, means that I can and we'll get some more. You know, this putty's not that expensive, and by volume it is a lot cheaper than using Tamiya. And it does the same job. It fills holes. So now we'll right, now I'm going to all right, and the last one here. Now here comes the moment of truth. There we go. Now we still have to fill between the tracks. And so what I normally do here is I take my calipers. I know that it's 9 millimeters between the tracks. And this is 8 inches right now, so we better put it over the millimeters. Yeah, so I want to, and if I'm right, 6 mil is what we want. So then I have foam. I've got it in gray, I've got it in black. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab a scrap piece of track, and we'll see so what I'm going to do here is grab a scrap piece of track. This is Pico. I made a mistake the first time I bought track. I didn't realize that there were different makes. I mean, I was so new to the hobby, and so it's the same, but in terms of the width between the tracks, and I'm just going to double check that. Yeah, it's the same. Then I brought it home and realized I bought it in a hobby shop in London, Ontario, not knowing the difference. I should have asked somebody, but you never know what you don't know, and that was one thing I didn't know, was that there were different types of track and switches. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the calipers and I'm just going to push them in. Push them in. That's giving me a little mark. And now I'm going to take my ruler put it down here and trim this. And it's going to go in there like that. It's thinner. I know, I'm pretty sure I'm right in saying this. Yeah, it's thinner than the track, so the cars can roll over it. The big problem with this is making sure you get it in the center, so that you don't affect the flanges. So you see, it'll be there. I'm just gonna mark that. And I will be painting these pieces of foam black. So typically what I do is put some super glue here, and then put little bits of super glue all the way along there, and have it so I can see that there's a gap between the foam itself and the rails, so the flanges will sit. So we need to let this dry. Well, I tell you, I never read the safety instructions, and I should. Don't inhale, don't swallow, Don't use don't get it in your eyes. Gee. Okay, so the drying time is affected by the thickness of the coating. So this is a fairly, it's not a 1/16, but it's pretty darn close to a 1/16 of an inch. So I'm going to let this dry, and once it's dry, I'm going to sand it, and then I'll have painted these before I've sanded anything here. Okay, I want to make them the same size. All right, so we'll call it quits for now, and we'll come back when the putty's dry. Okay, so here we are. I have run the train, a train across the tracks here multiple times to make sure that it gets across without any binding on the putty that we put in these gaps between the plywood and the rail. The next step is to put in the pieces that go between the rails, and the way I do that is with some super glue. There we go. And I'm just going to put a little dab of super glue here. He says it won't. Let me grab a pin here. You would think with all the pins I had around here I would have one to at hand. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. I think that's good. Is that? Hang on. That pin was not long enough. There we go. That's better. Okay. So a little dab of super glue is on the between the rails, and now we lift it up again, and another dot of super glue. And I think I can get away with just one more, but I'm going to put two in anyway. So. And there's one done. And now the next one. And a little spritz of there. Now, because this foam is so thin, should I make a mistake here, I can just take a scalpel and go in there and trim it off a bit. And there we go. Now, I'm going to just check the rails here, make sure nothing is in the way. And we'll give this a shot with the train going across. And we'll see if I've got any trimming to do. So, back over here to my command station, my booster, and plug this in, and we don't have a short. Everything looks like it's okay. Let's get stuff off the rails. Let's check over here just to make sure there's nothing on the go. 3886 is about to take off. Now it's down on there, it's going around. We've got her going at 17, speed step of 17. There's a speed step of 20. This train that's coming around is my test train. Every time I do something, I run this one around just to make sure that she actually works. So here comes. She's just going through the yard. Everything looks good. Fingers crossed. Oh. We're going to try that again. Oh, I see what's the matter. Okay. Where'd I put the super glue? My little... What happened? Oh, we crashed. Let's just go to emergency stop here. There's always something, isn't there? Wouldn't be model railroading if some things didn't decide they weren't going to work properly. So let's go back down here, and is it going to run? Okay, I didn't have this this part of the foam pushed down hard enough, and it caught on the undercarriage. And there we go. So we have a working train. And we'll just slow her down and shut it off, unplug it. I don't need it running. Okay. So, where's my little block? Here's my little block. This is the block I use to clean track. There's a little bit of glue, a little bit of paint still on that rail there, but that's okay. All right, so there we have it. a finished crossing. So I do have some lights to control the traffic, the road traffic that will go there. They're not operating lights. They're just a 3D printed model. But that's what we got there. Now we've got a functioning crossover. All right. Okay. So I want to thank you for watching today. Like, comment, and subscribe. As I always say at the end of my videos, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and we'll see you next week with a new video. It's going to be the painting part of the road and the weathering of the road with pigments and some grout and some other stuff to make it look like it's a well-traveled road, and just instead of a slap of gray plywood. So once again, thank you, and I'll see you next week with a new video.